Welcome to the lair of the Batty Boffin.
Hi there Batty fans, a little more fractions for us today, and today we're going to be looking at multiplying. Now, to show multiplying and why we do what we do, I've got a nice little diagram here, and what we're going to be doing is working out what 2/3 times 3/4 is. Now, a little handy bit on here that may help you to understand. When we see the word sign times in maths, when we talk in normal English, we don't actually say times, we tend to say of, as in half of 6, that kind of thing. So the word times in normal English is pronounced of, yes? We often say, like, if it has like 2 and 2 makes 4, the and, 2 and 2 is a plus, and the makes is an equals. In maths we'd write 2 plus 2 equals 4. In English we say 2 and 2 makes 4. And the times is an of. It's like the per is a divide and that kind of thing. So what we're looking for here actually is 2/3 of 3/4. That's how we'd normally say it in English. So we're actually going to draw that. We're going to draw 2/3 of 3/4. So here's my box and here's 3/4 of it. So I've shaded in 3 out of the 4 columns. 3 out of 4 columns, 3/4. Yeah, we all know what that means. But I don't want 3/4, I want 2/3 of the 3/4. So I'm going to draw that in. So there you can see I've shaded in 2 rows out of 3 rows. 2 out of 3, 2/3. I've shaded in 2/3 of the 3/4. Yep. So my 3/4 is in green and 2/3 of it is that double shaded bit. So having a look at our diagram, we can see that 2/3 of 3/4 must be equal to this. It is equal to 6 blocks out of the 12 blocks. So that's what I shaded in, 6 out of 12. Okay, don't worry that we know it cancels down to a half, we'll do that later on. Stick with 6/12 for a moment. So we shaded in 6 blocks out of 12 blocks. And we could actually tell that it's going to be 6 blocks because it's 2 high and 3 wide. This double shaded bit, 2 high and 3 wide. And that 2 came from here and the 3 came from here. It's the 2 top numbers multiplied. And we know that it's out of 12 blocks because we originally divided our rectangle into 3 high and 4 wide. And the 3 came from here and the 4 came from there. So to do the timesing, we simply multiply the 2 top numbers, and that gives us the size of our answer rectangle. We multiply the 2 bottom numbers, and that gives us the size of blocks that we divided it into. 2 times 3, 6, 3 times 4, 12. Easy peasy, and of course you always cancel down at the end. That happens to be 1/2, which you can see it is, can't you, quite easily. It's 1/2 there. So that's for multiplying fractions, and this is why we do it. You simply multiply the 2 top numbers and you multiply the 2 bottom numbers. It's not like adding. On adding you end up with the same number at the bottom, and on here what you're doing is you're taking your quarters and you're chopping them up into thirds. And if you take a quarter and chop it up into thirds, what you get are 12ths. So that's why we multiply the bottom numbers on there. Okay, dead easy. Multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms. So I'm going to wipe down this board and put up a few to you to have a go at. Let's have a go with these then. Nice easy ones there up in the green. Simply multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms, gives your answer there. Cancel down if necessary. Same here for the blue ones. Slightly bigger numbers, but still should work just as well. Here we've got some mixed numbers, okay, and I'm assuming you know how to deal with mixed numbers. If you don't, pop back and have a look at some of the other Batty Boffin maths videos all about mixed numbers and top-heavy fractions. So what you're going to do here, as I said on that, any maths, don't work with mixed numbers, work with top-heavy fractions, they're much easier. So the first thing you're going to do is convert that into a top-heavy fraction. Your 3/4 will just stay here, so just rewrite that sum here with the first thing as a top-heavy fraction, and then do your multiplies. Same thing down here, you've got 2 mixed numbers, so you rewrite your 2 and 2/3 here, you rewrite your 1 and 3/4 here, and then do your answer and tidy it up when you finish cancelling down, etc. Okay, so have a go with those now. Right, let's go through those together. First one's nice and easy. Multiply the tops, we get 20. Multiply the bottoms, we get 30. and that cancels down. If you're not sure about cancelling down, there are other batty boffin videos talking about that. 20 over 30 cancels by tens to 2/3. Okay, hope you got that one. Let's have a look at the blue one now. Slightly bigger numbers, but still not a problem. 3 times 6, that's 18. 4 times 7, 28. That will cancel by 2s to give you 9 over 14. 9 will only cancel by 3s, and that doesn't cancel by 3, so that's it, you finish there, 9/14. Now the red ones, a little bit more work here. First of all, top heavy fractions. 1 1/2, that makes 3 halves, okay? And that's 3/4, so that's going to give us 9/8, which is 1 and 1/8. Did you get all that? Good. Now for the black one. Right. We're putting everything in thirds, 2 and 2/3. Well, there's 6/3 in there plus another 2, so that's 8/3. 1 3/4, that's 7/4. I'm going to come down here now. 7 times 8, that's the one that always gets everybody. 7 times 8 is 56. I don't know what I'm writing there. One way that some people like to remember that is they try and remember somebody like starting off a piece of music. You know, you go 5, 6, 7, 8. 56 is 7/8. 5, 6, 7, 8. So 56 is 7/8, and 3 times 4, that's 12. Okay, so that's the answer, but that's mega top heavy. How many 12ths do you get in there? Well, 4 12ths are 48, so we're going to definitely get 4 in there. 48, and we've got 8 left over. Yes, so if you 48, we've got 56, so that's 8 12ths left over. 8 12ths, that will cancel down. So that's 4 and 2/3. You could have cancelled that, by the way, before. You could have cancelled that by 3s and then put it into the mixed number. Either way is fine. 4 and 2/3 is your answer. If you got that, take a pat on the head, gold star, and a chocolate digestive. We'll be back next time with some divisions. I'll see you then.